All right, I gotta chuck our boys out. I shall be right back. Well, Ronnie's out of here. You better go get him. All right, and the boys are out, rolling around. Let's put the guys up a little higher if I can. Maybe not there. Probably over here. Well, there they go. Let's see. I guess we're a little off. Okay. All right. Now, I think we're set up. Pretty good. And it's been a while since I've been, since the boys are way up at the front. I'll just come around for a second. It's been busy. Lots going on, but I want to do a live stream catch up with you guys. I thought I'd put the boys out though, so we'll see what they do. They might play around a little bit, but I don't know. I'll let you watch them. We'll zoom in a bit. And watch them goof around. Probably roll around a little bit first. Get some scratches done. It has been delightfully busy, I gotta say. Weather's been pretty good. Appointments aplenty. Trimming, training, teaching, lessons. Got a couple offers for some volunteers to come in, stuff like that. So that's kind of, oh, good job, Luke. He's stuck on his back like a turtle. Get him, Roni. We'll see what these guys do. I mean, the last time you guys saw these two together, it was the discipline video, but they're very good at playing and stuff. So I suspect that that's what they'll do. Well, there they go. Good, good. Keep it up, boys. It's good exercise. So yeah, so we've been just constantly moving. And right now I'm at the back area, and I guess I can show you guys. I was gonna do a, some really nice reveal or something, but I'm at the back here for a reason, because it's very comfortable now. It's set up. I just got to do maybe a little bit of beautifying, but here you guys go. I shall show you what has been done. And there we go. It's a deck. Um, and a long time ago, I had kind of mentioned that these stumps were going to be used for something. Well, essentially, they're used as tables now. So the next step um, is to, I don't know, make it a little more homely and stuff. But essentially, it sits kind of high so that you'll see here when we're up here, you can see like this into the small arena, and it will be easier to watch. Easier to watch, and of course, there's chairs here. You can just sit around and um, use them as tables. So yes, that's one of the things I've been very, very busy on. And now they're back to rolling. Whoa. Okay. Um, so that's one of the things. And then another thing, I've got one more project coming, and I can tell you about it. I can't show you because it's actually way up there next to the gator. I plan on building a big sort of wash. Look at these guys. Wow, a big wash station area. It's sort of a medical slash wash station area um, for the horses and hoof soaking area. So I've got some really good plans for that, great ideas. And so I'll explain that in a future video here, but it's just another one of those things. I've been clearing the area and planning it out, figuring out materials and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful evening here. We've got some just really mild weather at the moment. Sunny. Anyways, so that's kind of what's been going on. Just a quick catch up for you guys to see what, to tell you what's going on. And as I've been so, I don't know, I take video, but so much of it just never ends up on the internet because I just don't have the time, or sometimes I don't get into a little bit later, and it's like, oh, I'll edit this later, and then I don't. And so, well, look at that drive-by. The boys are always fun to watch. Okay, so who's here? Susan, hello Susan, and Sue, and Carla, and Carrie from Alabama. Luke's belly rubs. Yes, he's his itchiness. He's still regularly itchy, but it's not as bad as last year for sure. So he seems to be getting a little bit better. Ronnie's lighter. Yes, he gets pretty light in the summertime. So does Luke. Hey, thanks for the compliments on the deck. Yeah. Can I get him a cortisone shot? I don't believe that cortisone is the shot that relieves or can relieve sweet itch. I have given him a shot in the past. I'm not sure if it's cortisone. I don't think so. It's definitely a steroid, but maybe it's cortisone. But anyways, it didn't have any effect. It was useless, cost a bunch of money, and I just thought, forget it. So now it's more preventative, and which includes making sure his place is clean. He's got some fly spray, or he's got some kind of covering on the places. Look at these two. What goofballs, eh? That's that's a little close. Let's zoom in a bit. And so there's not a lot that you can really do. Sweet itch is a real pain. There's a lot of people that are really struggling, and horses that are afflicted by it. He's not nearly as bad as some I've seen, just scabby and bleeding and stuff. That's not Luke. He's got it, but it's more of a mild version. So he's doing okay, but a little itchier than the others, kind of thing. Some get pretty dry skin. Some really get hassled by flies. We've had a lot less flies than we've ever had, which is good. No idea what's been contributing to that. Maybe more bats, or frogs are doing their job or something, or dragonflies are coming around. Mosquitoes have been way less. Whoa! Holy smokes! Get 'em, Roni. Well, these guys are really competing today. I'm not sure who's winning. It's a bit of a standoff. Something needs to get figured out between these two. I think Roni's winning, though. Look at him send him off. Cuts him off, sends him the other way. Cuts him off, sends him the other way. See, Roni's a cutting horse, it seems. You can't kick him while he drinks water, Roni. What a big meaty pants. He's saying, get off of the water. You better move off the water. I'll kick you in the leg. And Luke says, well, I'm pretty thirsty, man. I gotta drink sometime here. Come on. Give me a break. Look at him. Roni's waiting. He's just patiently waiting. Carla says, what about an antifungal cream? It's not a fungus that's the problem, though. I mean, if there was a fungus on him, sure. But I mean, zinc oxide or something is pretty good for covering up, wounds, for flies to chew and bite on, that kind of thing. It's kind of like a second skin in a way, because it's essentially just zinc powder mixed with petroleum jelly. Hey, Dave. So it's a good covering, but I can't cover his whole body, and he'll get bit in all kinds of places. The sweet itch is just a reaction to being chewed on. In random locations, it doesn't really matter. So we just try to keep his area as clean as possible and spray him down. Yeah. Add a water bucket this way. Yeah, right. I'd have to bring the girls down here for them to come down, but I might change locations. But it is quieter back here. You can't hear the traffic as much. And in the summertime, it's cooler back here. It makes a difference. In the wintertime, it is too. When it's icy and stuff, this back area defrosts the slowest. So, yeah, I'll see what they do. Just playing around now, which is good. So, other updates. I've got, you can't see her. Oh, good job, Roni. Keep sending them off. This is good to watch. If you were training a horse and they kept kind of just not listening in properly, you tell them what to do and they sort of ignore you. Roni's got the right idea. He's quick and he's swift for the movement. He makes sure Luke gets moving, and then he sort of checks back in and they go from there. But see his ears go back and he's saying, you keep shuffling, man. Now he's going to back up a little and tell Luke to move off. He is, but it's slow. I don't know. We'll see what happens with these two. Other updates. Let's see. Horses are doing great. When Carla had noted on the last live stream with Gracie that she was using her toes more than her heels on her back leg, I took a real strong look again, and it's something that I've been meaning to deal with for a while, because I know that she's got some ingrown stuff in her back feet that I've been trying to deal with, but I think I've just been too conservative about it. And I've had this conversation over the last couple of days because I've had to deal with a couple of really difficult cases of hooves. I had one today that was pretty the idea was that it was pretty laminitic. X-rays were done, thin soles. The vet attending was actually my vet, so that worked out because I talked to him regularly. So I called him up and asked about it and just get a double check on that, as I had assessed it as well. But shedding sole, possible thrushy frog, bent over bars, so all kinds of problems. So you get, well, here comes a race car. There you go, vroom. It's fast. And what is happening between these two? Get him up, Roni. I have never seen horses play like this in my life. Ever. That's the funniest. Bite him, Roni. Bite him. Pull his whiskers. Luke's out. Says, I just need to have a rest. Oh, no. Roni won't have any of it. That's funny, eh? It's like having a really crummy best friend, or maybe a little brother. You got a little brother and you want to, anyways. You know, dealing with a lot of different strange hoof issues. And that said, though, some of them are very healthy. A few of them are coming out of shoes, so they've got their own issues. And anyways, so for baby, and she is living right there. Yeah, right there. That's baby there. And if we watch her a little bit, we'll see her tap dancing her back feet. she's she's booted on her back feet right now. So thanks, Carla, for sort of reminding me that I really needed to sort of aggressively tackle her problem, which I'll talk about in another video probably. It's interesting to watch. Gracie was pretty interested in what the boys were doing. Now she doesn't care. She's just eating. But if when she gets a little bit more irritated, right now she's quite calm, so she's not doing her tap dance. But she hates the boots. I've got boots on her, and I've had boots on her in the past trying to. I did one time try to solve it, and I thought maybe I had it pretty good, and then she ended up ripping the boot off. So I thought, okay, well, it's not too bad, but I didn't get it all. And when you're dealing with hoof issues, you really like thrush. So I have a lot of clients call me up, and this new ones usually, and they'll say, "Oh, my horse has thrush. How do I deal with it?" And I say, "Well, okay, what's the conditions?" And we'll talk about the footing. We'll talk about, you know, the weather. We'll talk about diet. And oh, you know, we got rid of it, and then it came back. And I can say without a doubt, without a single shred of doubt in my head, thrush is something that if you don't like a lot of hoof stuff. Where's Luke going? He's leaving Roni. Roni says, "Where are you going?" Um, like a lot of things with hooves, if you don't eradicate the problem, it stays. The hoof seems to be built to cover up problems, and then a lot of times it'll try to internalize it, and that ends up causing an abscess. And abscesses are just you know, an infection of the foot, essentially, and there's a buildup of pressure, of pus, and all kinds of stuff. And so, you know, without dealing with the problem full out 100%, it just sort of stays there. So if a horse has had thrush and you kind of got it, you got it dealt, or you think you got it dealt with, and then a month later it's back, it pretty much means it was always there all along. It just wasn't eradicated. Our horses here, no thrush. I was diligent and adamant that I would not have thrush in my horses. Who came with it? Luke had, I think Luke had a little a long time ago. Lena had it quite bad. Gracie had it. Roni was pretty good. He had a different problem that I'm still slightly battling with, but I'm wondering if it's genetics more than it is just regular hoof care. But without really properly dealing with these problems, they just stay and they stick, and then you're screwed essentially, because unless you just... So anyway, so long story, it's kind of as a long story right now watching the boys, but Gracie there is now, or she's there, she is now under strict booting and care policy for the next 2 to 3 weeks for sure. And I'll talk about that again, so I'll get into it. But essentially, she's got what is referred to as embedded or embedded bar, but like the junction or the area that's next to the frog and the sole of the hoof tends to trap things. And like I said, the hoof grows over top of stuff really, really well to protect from more stuff getting in. But if stuff is already in there and it hasn't come out, well, then you've got to deal with that. So there's a couple of different schools of thought around it. You can dig these things out, or you can just continuously provide sort of a speed up of Mother Nature, where you wear down the area that needs to exfoliate off. And so that's the plan. There's a middle ground in that plan, or that method of fixing it. And then from there, we just keep stuff out. So you have a bunch of options to keep stuff out, or actually probably just three. There's three options. One, I'm doing it, it's booting. Two, you can wrap it, but the footing that we're on here is gravel and sand and abrasive stuff, unlike a pasture, for example, which is much softer. So I can't wrap it without having to wrap it every second day. I mean, it doesn't matter how much duct tape I use to keep that stuff on. You just can't. And then the last option is to cast it, but I don't want to cast her foot because every few days I want to go in and just sort of treat the bacteria that has been growing or can grow, and also want to continuously shave off any material that is growing down so that new stuff can continuously come out. If that makes any sense to any of you hoof nerds out there, that's kind of how it works. So I'm just doing my best to keep up with that. So I'll do another video, probably something makes a little bit more sense than just saying it here. Carla says, are there any new horses? Yes, we have one for sure coming in about a week, and another one that was tentative. I'm waiting to hear back from the lady. We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of how it goes, you know. Borders come and go. People who want to come here or are looking around, they come and go because, you know, they find a place or this place doesn't fit their needs. Some people want different environments, different sort of cultures, like a jumping or western or dressage place. They'll want an arena that has no grade and nice and flat, pasture, you know, all kinds of things. Closer to home, closer to trails, you know, a bigger community. We're a small barn here, so oh, come on, phone. So they're actually coming this way a little. Let's just do that there. So, you know, that's just the life of a boarding facility. You just be patient. I'm not in any rush to get some new horses in. In fact, my vet had offered to sell me this really good looking horse. And he says he's really neat horse, a lot of energy. And so something I was thinking about. I mean, that horse, who knows? Anyway, so I wanted to catch up with you guys, let you know what's going on around here. It's been a little bit quiet on the video front, just due to sheer just busyness, just so many, just little projects and appointments, lessons, all kinds of stuff, training. I have video, I just gotta find the time for it. Man, Roni's a good-looking horse, eh? Look at all that muscle. Bam, like he's doing push-ups. At night, because he doesn't do them during the day. He's just pure muscle, I swear. Oh, look at him. It's a race. It's the slowest race ever, but it's a race. Luke is terrified of the pool noodles. He does not care about pool noodles. He used to, but he doesn't anymore. He's pretty good with them. So. Just nice and quiet. I know I'm not really talking in the second right now, but I'm just listening to the birds. You guys will be able to hear them this time because I don't have my lapel mic on. Just have the phone. So when I get quiet, I bet the levels go up and you hear the dog barking off. It's about 3 yards away. Birds. I mean, it's really nice. You know, just forest everywhere. Monique says, I've been following you for several months, new on chat. Have you shown the surprise yet? I have. Show it again. What the heck? I'm actually on the surprise. So this is it. Don't mind the sawhorse here. It's just here for construction purposes. I haven't moved it. But yeah, it's a new deck. And its primary purpose really is actually to look in there. So the stumps that were here, these trees that were 200 feet tall or something silly. They were massive and a danger more than anything. And it's neat actually because the oh, all right, phone, get your stuff together. The two trees here uh, got so close that they almost, you know, joined, but there's still a gap, and there's enough bark still growing in here, which I found very interesting. But yeah, these two stumps here and that stump there are making up some tables. So I built a deck all the way around them, just carved up the wood, essentially, just cut up the wood. And then there's a space over there. You know, sometimes we might put a barbecue or something, and maybe another little table or whatever we might do. I was thinking of maybe some little flower pots or something, make it a little more homely. And then then the view is like this into the covered arena. And then if it's super sunny or maybe even slightly rainy, then we can just put a temporary cover. But looking from up there, I knew that I never wanted to ruin sort of the sight line that allows you to look all the way down into here from up there. And so these stumps are actually cut at a specific height that the board up top here sort of matches that from the sight line of the top. That's kind of convoluted and weird maybe, but I have some ideas. Susan says she thinks Luke is tired of Roni's attitude. Yeah, it's true. He probably is. Stop pushing me around. Isis, yes, the log bench. I guess I might as well tell you guys. The old log that used to be sitting, I don't know, somewhere. We had it there for a while. I then split it completely, and then moved it here. And it was in the way completely, so I cut it in half again. So now we have 4 pieces, and then these logs essentially. It's an old cedar tree, but we're going to give them a good carving. And each one of these can be picked up by 2 people, so they look big, but they're actually not that heavy. So we're gonna fashion them up to be a bench, a couple of benches. The boys are doing nothing now, absolutely nothing. So thanks, Carla. I like the cutouts too. I think they're pretty neat. I always knew that I wanted to have an area back here, and when we cut the trees down, getting rid of stumps is expensive, and the cost and the pain in the butt of it just wasn't worth it. I thought, well, I wonder if I could just use these things. Maybe I'll build a. So I'd said it in a video a long time back, and now we've only just finally finished up building it. So I'll do a build video probably, because there's a little bit to talk about on, well, how do you build a deck, you know. So I'll talk about how it's built and why it's built the way it is, and some tricks on how to do that. What is Luke chewing on that? He's going to be in big trouble. He better not be chewing on that thing. Oh well. So Sue, where's the umbrellas? They're coming. You know, I'm gonna put a couple of holders in, I think, or at least one. Umbrellas are a little pricey, so I got to wait for a sale maybe. It's not a big deal. We got a couple umbrellas I can bring down. We're not gonna have enough people here. There'll be people sitting up there and down here, so I'll just bring the umbrellas down for now probably, but it should be good. Hello, Danielle, making it. Just talking about just catching up on things, just letting you guys know what's going on, and got the boys out. They're just goofing off for now, and not doing much anymore. Luke was trying to sleep, but Roni just got him up. No more sleeping for you. So it was funny when it lasted. And then talking about what I built back here. You'll have to rewind. I don't know if everybody wants to see built a deck back here, but you'll see it if you're interested. I'll show it in lots of videos too, obviously, but yeah, I'll do a build video and talk about this, I mean, decks are pretty simple. There's not really a lot that's too involved, but it's got to make sure that it's solid, which it is. So, but yeah, I mean, to put it simply though, it just looks like this with the stubs. Look at that. So, there you go. Let's see what else. So yeah, so Gracie's feet. New horse coming in and whoa, phone, come on. Just zoom properly. Motorcycles going by. Oh, what else? Alina's good, Ronnie's good, Luke's good. We've got some trail rides coming up pretty quick here. I've got some video projects that I'm working on. I've got 3 different projects that I'm trying to work on at the same time in the planning phase at the moment. But once that's done, then I'm just going to start shooting, and then we'll post up what that's going to be. Should be interesting. Hope you guys like it. I get a lot of questions, and I mean a lot. I mean it's daily on dealing with horses on the ground. I recently did, was it yesterday or the day before? Oh God, every day is just blending into the other. But I did a lesson with a lady, and her horse was pretty worried about some stuff. And I gave an example, or I showed the example. I did a few things, but one of the things that I regularly do was called a oh hey, my life rodeo. You should be in Calgary right now. Calgary rodeo is going on. Anyways, your question, I'll answer your question as soon as I sort of tell you what this is. But one of the exercises I'll do is called a half circle exercise. I mean, I'll do my normal circle, but it's a half circle traveling exercise. And I don't know if any of you guys have any idea what that would be unless I were to show you. But essentially, when I'm on the ground, I'm having the horses. You've seen my groundwork. If you haven't, check it out. But if you have, great. You'll know what I'm talking about. But we'll do a normal circle exercise with direction changes, but only half the circle, and we're traveling from one end of the arena to the other while doing it. And the thing about, well, there's a few really important tricks or things that you teach while doing it. But I couldn't figure out a really good way to explain exactly how and the timing of doing it. I was able to show it, obviously, and I was able to sort of talk through what I was doing. And I mean, the main reason for doing it is really just keep the horse quite busy. And when you're doing groundwork anyways, you're having the horse, Roni's got a long ways to go to back up all the way to Luke. Good luck with that, pal. A lot of race cars tonight. But you know, you're doing your groundwork and you're having the horse yield from you throughout their circles. Or direction changes and stuff. The direction change should never come into you. It's always going to go away from you. And so the half circle exercise employs, you know, your basic groundwork where you start off with them that they must yield and go around, and then you do a direction change, which means that you get the nose, you stop the front end, the back end comes, then they back up, then the front end comes, and then they travel off on a yield to the other direction. And so there's a series of events that must happen accurately. And then you add in a way, the complexity of putting pressure towards them on their half circle around you. So if you imagine the half circle, the direction changes happen just ahead of the side of you. And but because you're walking, when they're making their direction change, they have to sort of keep up a little bit, and they have to go a little bit quicker because they've got to get around you while yielding, because you're walking forward, not at them, but you're walking at a specific spot. Anyways, the exercise is incredibly important, especially for horses that are not paying attention. Maybe they're a little bit poor with direction changes or yielding, and you can really have them tune into you really quickly. It's a very important exercise to do. So there's one of the things that I think I'm going to try to do, like my rectangle and circle video I did not too long ago, that some of you have seen. The boys are not interesting, are they? They're just chilling out. Um, and so I'm going to try to do something along those lines because I can't think of another way to teach it other than do the top-down approach. And I have another idea. So anyways, that's what I mean. I'm working on 3 or 4 sort of projects to show how to do things. But okay, how would you work with a horse that lacks confidence? I guess my question would be, lacks confidence in what? Like what is your subjective or objective observation that leads you to the subjective term of lacks confidence? What does that look like to you? And how would you describe that happening? And how's that work? Tell me how it works. As for Darcy, yeah, they probably would. Danielle, I've seen your horses. They're wonderful horses, obviously. I like draft horses. I've got one. um, Draft horses, when doing this exercise, really have to try to keep up. The bigger horses have a harder time of it. Smaller horses or quicker horses have a much easier time of it. But draft horses really have to make an effort because they've got a lot more body to make a direction change on, but they can all get it. They can all do it. But you have to consider the physique of the horse to do this exercise successfully and efficiently. Really, really important. It's a really, really good one, but it's actually quite hard. Drill a hole in the stumps for the umbrellas. I would, but I think they'd fill up with water. I've thought about that too. I don't want them filling up with water because I actually don't want these stumps rotting. I plan on finishing the tops of them properly, so I'll be evening them out, and then I will do an epoxy top and designed to be determined. So anyways, okay, a horse that seems to fear everything but nothing at the same time. Sounds like a riddle. My horse is very well behaved only in the indoor arena, but when we go outside, she freaks out at everything she has seen before. Sue says that was her thought too. Right. Yeah, no, I can't drill a hole in these suckers because it'll just fill up with water or snow or dirt or whatever. It would be easier to just, I mean, I like the idea. I thought of the idea, but I don't know how I'd keep water out and stuff. You're going to put steps on the deck? Yes, there will be steps coming up here. For me, it's a little bit of a jump. It's you know, it's not too bad. Oh, come on, zoom. It's zoomed in too much. Let's see. So yeah, as you can see, it's got a bit of this is a 2x8, so that'll give you an idea. It's about 20 inches up, almost 2 feet up. So yes, I will put steps, but I've actually got some ideas for that, which I will let you guys know another time. It'll be a little bit creative, sort of make this place fit. Okay, so my life. Dealing with horses that aren't properly acclimated to the outdoors. I mean, this place is exactly what I built this place to deal with problems like that. So for me, what we do, let's zoom out a little bit. You can see here we've got the bridge, right? Barrels, tarp. We've got the pool noodles off of the sawhorse. We've got the pool noodles hanging down. I mean, I've got a pile of obstacles that I work with. And the reason I work in the arena with horses on these things is because it's a safe place to do it. So we're in a fenced area. We work on these things that freaks them out. But the point isn't that I'm ever going to find pool noodles or a teeter-totter, or a tarp uh, in the wilderness or when I'm out and about. The point is that I'm going to work them through something that they're worried about, and we're going to both develop some muscle memory, um, and reactions and actions to handle the problems. So when you do get out and about, um, you'll come across a problem, but both you and your horse will have more confidence in each other that, look, relax, it's no big deal. A great example actually is, Lena and I, we were out on a trail ride and she wouldn't cross this bridge. And so I was just trying to encourage her to go, 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 but she wouldn't go over it. So I ended up backing her over top of the bridge because I knew that I could get her to back up to things better than, a lot of times better than I can get her to lead up to things. So we had a method that worked. Let's see, I guess Luke's more interesting. We had a method that worked, that would allow her to listen and trust, and she didn't need to look behind her because she knew I wasn't going to put her into a steel post or some spike or some dangerous thing. She was pretty confident that I would just back her into the right space and everything would be good. So what you're really doing is you're establishing a set of patterns, and essentially muscle memory and mental memory, of how to handle weird things, um, whatever that may be. It could be a picnic table, it could be a garbage can, it could be a log laying on the ground. It could be a lot of different things. So then, if you have the confidence to say, "Look, just relax. It's a garbage can. Just relax. It's a table, or it's whatever." Um, she also hesitates and doesn't listen at a faster speed. Anything faster than a walk, it seems like she shuts off and stops listening. Okay, yeah, no problem. So when you are working in the arena, I really encourage you to just do a bunch of different things, and it could be, I mean, so many different things. You could, if your horse isn't used to roping, you could rope stuff. If you're any good at roping, I'm only half good, so I say that with humility. Like, if you can do it, great, awesome. I can do some. So what I'll try to do is I'll rope something and I'll pull it. I'll rope the barrel. Maybe I'll put the rope around the barrel and not rope it, but just pull it a little bit. Or I'll get a small pole and I'll pull that around the horse, or I'll get on the horse and we'll be pulling it around, and we'll be doing stuff that freaks them out, and worries them. And the sooner you can kind of establish some really good patterns on how to deal with weird, problematic stuff, the way faster it'll go when you're out and about in the normal world. So the confidence thing can be, they can lack confidence, but if you have a ton of it, if you have a pile of it, then you'll have the ability to reassure them, and push them through some of the problems that you're going to encounter when you're out and about. Luke's just leftover blocks. He thinks, oh, these are interesting, I'll just stick my nose in them. No idea why. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about a horse that when you get out, they're not acclimated to being able to see further. They're not acclimated to being able to see vehicles or other horses. They're not acclimated to seeing the fence line so far away. What, Luke? What? That's okay. You can continue to acclimate them to all these kinds of things. It is totally 100% normal. So you're not abnormal. You just have to do the time. If that makes any sense. As for horses reacting poorly at when you speed up, the goats are starting. I don't know if you guys can hear them. As for horses reacting poorly when they speed up, that is also very normal. It means you have gaps in your work. And that's not meant as anything bad or anything like that. It literally means that if you're at a walk, you could probably get an adverse reaction, but you might not have seen it. So I would continue to work at things and make sure they're really, really solid. Not only solid at a walk, solid when you go to turn, solid when you go to back up. You should be able to do all your maneuvers at a walk while freaking them out. Maybe have a friend come along. One of the exercises that I will do with people is I'll have a pool noodle or I'll have a flag or something like that. They're riding and going about, or maybe they're not even riding, maybe they're just doing their groundwork. And I will, actually, I did this exercise with some kids. Ronnie's just standing there doing nothing. Luke's nibbling. And I had essentially wrapped a couple of pool noodles around me, and I'd stuffed some pool noodles in those wrapped up bits so that I essentially just looked like this spiky pool noodle thing. And I walked around the kids while they were doing groundwork. And I said, you guys must maintain a normal circle and direction changes while I wander around. Keep your horse's attention on you, and don't let your horse sort of evade, what you're asking for. And so that was the exercise. So I encourage you, if you can have some friends come around and help you out, making a situation that is worrisome for your horse, and get it really solid at a walk. Then, when you feel like it's really good, move up to a trot. Faster speed will always show your gaps. Always. That's why horses kind of get worried when they go from trot to canter. Because there's just some gaps, whatever you were doing at a trot wasn't quite good enough, but there will be a point where you'll kind of push them up into these higher speeds, whether it's from walk to trot, or walk to back up, or trot to back up, or trot to canter, or any of your gait changes. And you'll just have to sort of push them through those struggles. You just say, don't worry, just stay with me. Look at Roni push Luke around. As he comes over and just says, shove off. For what? What's the purpose? Anyways, I hope that makes some sense. If not, feel free to let me know. But when you increase, and the same goes for groundwork. So many horses, for example, you'll go to do short line. Some people do. I don't do long line lunging, but I would say it's probably similar. Do any type of line lunging, and you'll have the horse go around at a walk, and then you'll pick them up at a trot, and they'll start to get a little hoppy skippy. They'll shake their head maybe, or they'll fall out of their circle properly and stuff like that. And then you'll mess around at a trot for a little bit, and then you come back down to a walk, and then the walk will be a little bit better. You'll pick it up back to a trot, and those gait changes need to be precise, right? So then you get a slow trot, and then you build up to a medium trot, and then come back down to a walk, change back to a medium trot from the walk, and you get the trot really good. And then you say, okay, well, we got the trot really good, or you think you did, and you push them up to a canter, and they start bucking, and they start shaking their head, and they rear up, and they do some silly stuff because you're asking them to go around at a canter, and they can't handle it, and you think, okay, let's work through the whole trot gait. And then you work them through the trot gait properly. And what I will do is, when I've got walk and trot going, within that, I'll start to introduce other things. They'll have to go around tarps or posts, or go on top of the bridge, or we'll be doing our half circle exercise. And then we'll come back to doing just a basic circle, and I'll get a good trot and probably a canter. And we'll stop, we'll stop there. You just get in and get it done nicely and comfortably, and then get out. You're done. Let them go. Go let them roll, whatever they're going to do. And they can let that sink in a little bit. Or you can change up to doing drive draw exercises, where essentially you just have them, you drive them around just a tiny bit and then draw them on. And I've explained that, I think, in the past as well, but I suppose I should probably put together a set. I actually had an idea to put together a flow chart of things that I consider are great ideas. My horse bucks. My horse rears up. This is, what should I do? And it'll be a flow chart. Does your horse rear up? Do this. Like a yes or no. Anyhow, I thought it'd be funny. So, good. Oh, it does make sense. Excellent. Really like the close-up of eating the grass. Yes, horses are incredibly flexible. Look at him reaching under his belly right now. Whoa. Look, he lifts his leg up and gets under. It's impressive. Maybe he'll do it again for us. So, I'm really just giving you the theory of it right now. It is better if I can show it, but I'm all done for the day for working wise. I had a long day today, very busy. So We'll probably end that there, actually. I think I'm going to retire for the evening pretty soon. Flowchart idea is awesome. I know, right? It's a neat idea. Um, the problem is I would want things to be, I would probably struggle with how the flowchart should go because I would want it to be kind of fluid or dynamic. I wouldn't want to make it too rigid. So there'd be a bunch of options. Do this, this, or this. Does this work? If not, do this, then do this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, everybody. I think that's my update. I've given a giant piece of paper. Yeah. I was thinking of making an app, actually. Anyway, so yes. All right. I'll say hello and good evening. We're gonna finish for the night. Thanks everybody for popping in. Great questions, by the way. I love questions like that because it applies to everybody. There's a lot of people with the exact same problem, so it's normal. You got to spend some time, a little bit of patience, a lot of reassurance. For sure. Look at him. Look at Ronnie go. He's got it. No, nope. He gave up. They're circling for a reason, you know. Hey, Isis, thanks for popping in. Get Wendy over here, would you? We need her. Need some. The deck is done now, so she has to build the benches. So there you go. Okay, that's it for now, you guys. Have yourselves, obviously, a good night, evening, morning, afternoon, day, whatever it is on your side of the world. It's evening here. I think it's what, 8:30 or something. It's getting on. 9 o'clock. Holy smokes. All right. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you again very soon. Very soon.